Hi everyone. Today's video has 3 points and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to the absolute best way to go about selling your self-published book. Now, the topic that we're discussing today is 3 ways to sell your self-published book. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to know different options available when it comes to self-publishing your book. You're going to have the roadmap necessary to make sure that you are choosing the right path for you, and you're going to feel great knowing that you figured out which options may be right for you and which options are not right for you. So let's get into it. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one as we race towards 1,000 subscribers, and check out below in the description and grab a copy of my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to make sure that you are not skipping any of the steps necessary to not only self-publish but to win at getting your book to sell. So let's get into it. From my own story, when I first heard of somebody off of a podcast I was listening to, and I would highly recommend listening and reading as much material as you can on self-publishing if you're getting into it. Somebody who had been making a living bought an entire house out of profits and royalties that they had earned off of selling their books on Fiverr. Now, Fiverr is a website originally set up, Fiverr.com. My cover designer, you can see my affiliate link below in the description. That's the designer that I use from Fiverr. For about $18, you can get a cover made. They're great. She's amazing. But Fiverr, you can pay as little as $5. That was the idea. You would pay $5 or €5, and then you'd pay an additional dollar to Fiverr themselves. Now it's $2, but for the most part, $5, and they will do a service. You'll have a freelancer in the world who will take a gig and will do a service for you. I've also personally set up gigs on there and made money doing different things, since I'm also a data analyst in addition. And the thing is that I discovered it is an amazing platform. I still use it probably at least once or twice a week. Even today, not today, but yesterday, was using Fiverr in order to solve some problems, just hiring experts to tell me and show me how to go about solving it. But the idea of selling your books on Fiverr, that was a completely new idea for me. I had no idea that that was even an option. And somebody making a full-time living off of just putting their books on Fiverr, that was shocking that that would even be possible. So what happened is that I had still used Fiverr for a number of different self-publishing jobs. There was a whole series of things they will do in self-publishing. I would not recommend getting the formatting jobs because you'll continually need to make changes, and a lot of these people really don't know how to do it correctly. So that's a painful experience. That's the reason why I use Jutoh. You can see my affiliate link below in the description. That's the tool I use for doing my formatting. And the thing is I took my books, I put them into PDF format, which was easy since I already had it done for my paperback books. Through Jutoh, it makes it super simple where the table of contents and everything is set. So all I really had to do was just put the cover in the front of the PDF and then repost that PDF onto Fiverr as a gig. But the gig is immediately resolved. When somebody starts the gig, it sends the link to the book. They mark the gig complete, give me a review, and then back we go. As to sell, nothing could be simpler. The only thing you have to do is at least tell them the job is complete. After you've done it, you would deliver the book, mark the job complete. They would mark it complete, and that would end that gig. And so I put 3 or 4 books onto Fiverr just to see what would happen. And the thing is I saw a few sales coming through over a couple of years, and I got some positive reviews. In fact, I completely ignored it because it was so little money that was flowing. But the fact is, when I went back in there, I saw that there was a number of people who had gone in there and they all had given 5-star reviews for these different books that I had put onto Fiverr. I was completely shocked that this goes on, but the fact is the books that I sell, there's a specific problem and they meet that problem. And that's pretty much the whole point of a lot of books. Even fiction, you're trying to solve a problem people have with boredom, but it can be a little bit more demanding regarding what exactly those readers are looking for. When it comes to nonfiction, it's a lot simpler. They have a problem with puppy training, and you're going to show them how to go about doing that. And as a result, they're going to give you a positive review, unless they're being really, there are trolls out there who just like to give negatives. But for the most part, if you've solved the problem, they're going to give a positive review on that book that you've put out on nonfiction. But I put it on there, so I was getting these positive reviews. But the thing is the few sales weren't worth my time. but it was worth the experiment. This is something I've hit upon a number of times, which is sometimes for every 100 experiments, 1 to 2 of those experiments result in an actual win. The other 98% are complete waste, but they're not really a waste because I could never have found those 2 wins. Those things, like for example, Ingram Spark was an experiment that turned out to make an awful lot of money. Same with my hardback books on Lulu. Now we have the experiment with Amazon doing hardback books. Maybe that is something that is definitely going to be worth our time to figure out how that works and start putting our books on there and see if they outperform Lulu. If they do, then we just simply move from one to the other. But this has a lot to do with this subject of when we're getting started with self-publishing or even becoming advanced in self-publishing, we're doing a lot of experiments. And there are a lot of different ways that we can self-publish our books that we need to explore. And that's the reason why I created this video, 3 ways to sell your self-published book. So let's hit number 1. You can sell it directly from your website. You don't even need Amazon and these other places. You can just go straight from your website. So when they log in, now why would you do that? Well, the answer is because you're going to make most of the royalties. We're talking about the ebook version, and so it will be sent to you, and you'll have the ebook version, and you're going to make 100% of the profit, unless there's taxes you have to charge based upon where in the world you're living. But otherwise, you're going to keep all of the profit. Now on Amazon, you would make 70%, but on your own website, I would be 100%. The second place you want to definitely consider is sell it from an unknown limited self-publishing distribution company. So that would be some company that says, hey, I sometimes get calls from people who want me to do promotions for them, and I only promote companies that I actually stand by, companies and products that I've actually personally used and still use, that I stand by these particular ones. But sometimes I'll have people in small companies and offer me, hey, I can print out so many copies of your book or something along those lines if you promote our self-publishing company. And the companies themselves are more like distribution channels that they're dealing with, but it's very limited distribution channels as opposed to like the bigger companies. And so it would just be small. And you might be thinking, why in the world would you want to go with this route? Because they're not going to pay you a lot higher percentage of the royalties. And the reason a lot of people like this route is because, one, you've been banned off of Amazon. And recently, there's been another stream of bannings as a result of people who had serious issues with other people stealing their content, putting it onto anywhere on the internet. And then what happens is that Amazon says, why are you making books out of commonly available material? Well, it wasn't commonly available. Somebody's ripping you off. This happened to one of my books about, I think it was in January of this year. And the rule is you contact Amazon immediately. If they ever find any problems with anything you're doing, you get in touch right away. Their robots will just kick and automatically ban you if you don't respond. So you need to make sure you are always responding to Amazon's complaints and saying, look, I don't know what's going on. In my case, I could just look at the registration date on that content for that website and show they put it out in 2020 and my book was released in 2017. So clearly I did not steal from them. They are stealing from me. Now it's whack-a-mole, so it's not really worth going after it. But this was one of the reasons, that's one of the other things to consider. But the other thing is people just don't like Amazon. So you got yourself banned from Amazon, or the other one is you simply just don't like the size of Amazon. You feel it might be like a monopoly, and you're going to use your book as a means to punish them for their practices, their savvy business practices that have resulted in all of these small publishing companies going out of business. And this is definitely an option. You can use it as a protest. I don't really care about these major companies and all of the distribution channels they have. I'm going to go with a smaller one with a smaller pool of readers in order to make a point to Amazon. Now keep in mind, unless you're famous, and if you are famous, then these first 2 options I'm telling you right now, it will work great because you can put your book almost anywhere, and your loyal, avid readers, your super fans, they're going to come and they're going to buy your book no matter where it is. Now, if you make it convenient, you'll make a lot more money, but you could put it anywhere. But if nobody knows who you are, well, then they're not going to take a chance on your book. The less people available to buy your book, the less chances that you're going to have that your books actually sell in one of these different ways of self-publishing. And the end result is, did you really punish Amazon? Well, I don't know. You gave it to a small publishing house or something like that, and they're not really able to sell it either. You're not getting any sales there. So it's not clear how exactly you're helping the world by doing a protest with your own book, as opposed to finding your readers, build an audience, and then pull it off the platform. So these are just a couple of thoughts, and you can sort of see where I'm building up. These first two options I'm telling you are options I would never recommend for you. Never in a million years would I recommend you choose either of these options, because the number of sales is going to be so unbelievably small. And if you're already famous, well, what are you watching me for? Well, actually, I know exactly why you're watching me. The reality is if you've got a whole bunch of books on Amazon, there's still a lot of tactics and tricks that I'm telling you here that you're not going to hear anywhere else. The fake gurus make it all so complicated and things, whereas here, I just give away everything I know, because self-publishing is something I'm very passionate about, right? I do self-publishing. I continue doing self-publishing. Some of the gurus have gave up self-publishing a long time ago and are still talking about it, but this is something that for me, I really, really enjoy self-publishing. So that's perhaps why you're with me even right now as we move in to our secret answer of the day. And the secret answer is sell it from Amazon, where there are millions of readers with their credit cards attached to their accounts, ready to buy with a single click of a button, and the book is delivered to them. They already know the whole process. They trust the payment gateways. It's not like when you sell it from your own website. Sometimes people are like, I don't know, it seems a little fishy. But in reality, on Amazon, there's a high level of trust for the people who come there. They're used to buying things. They're trained to buy things. So when they see your book and your ads, that's the other thing, is that you're running ads against your book on Amazon. And when they see those ads for your book, they're going to click the buy now button. At least some of them, of the millions and millions of users, they're searching and they find your books among the pages. We talk about how to get yourself ranking on that first page of Amazon search results. And then what happens is they're going to click the buy now button and you're going to make a sale. Now you use that money, we reinvest it back in the company, and then we continue on with this particular game. It's all about getting these royalties in so that we can start building up the money that's coming in to get the next book out faster. So for me, it was hiring on additional virtual assistants. So I have a couple of employees that would then help me with the book production process, who have also transitioned also into video production and other things. But the point being, it's that as we're moving through this process, we want to maximize the number of channels and the number of people we're reaching, make it as easy as possible for these people to buy from us, and then we just put another book out, and then another book. And the question is, well, when do we stop doing this? Well, the answer is we really don't stop ever. We just keep going. We want it on as many distribution channels, and then we're able to increase the amount of money that's coming in, and that gives us a lot of flexibility as we're starting to get a little financial freedom as a result of the revenue that's coming from these books. And that's the reason why, if you haven't guessed it, even if I really disliked Amazon, I would still sell through them. Why would I want to shoot myself to punish somebody else? If I put myself on some micro distribution network, nobody's going to see or buy my book, and as a result, I'm making no sales. So who exactly did I help? Did I help me? Did I help all the readers who would love to read the value I have? Did I hurt Amazon? Well, a little bit, yes, but then I hurt myself even more, because I would have made more of that money. And what about the little self-publishers? Did I help them? Well, not really. You're a no-name person, so nobody's going to really know who you are. No like and trust is really what it's about. And so, as you can see, I'm telling you that even if you really dislike Amazon or any other Walmart, whatever it is, whatever company it is that sells most of whatever you're selling, like in this case would be books, well, punish them after you become famous. This would just be my comment. And look, we need to ride the waves. A lot of people get really nasty at Amazon and a lot of these other companies, but in reality, think about what they've done for so many people. They did for me directly. I'm a perfect case in point, where I had no idea about, running businesses and things like that. I didn't have any idea about that. It was Amazon who really started me on that journey. So I'm very appreciative of that. And look, I know there's all these other issues that's connected with them, but I'm just saying I value getting my books selling more than I do getting them not selling. I want my readers to actually get as much value as possible out of my books. So I hope that was a little bit helpful to you. And my question for you is, what ways of self-publishing have you tried? And stick around and check out a video above me here for more video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.